Toprak Razgatlioglu admits he will find it tough to fight for 15th place at Pramac in 2026. Toprak Razgatlioglu enters MotoGP as the reigning world superbike champion. He won the title in 2024 and 2025. However, ahead of his MotoGP Grand Prix debut with Yamaha Pramac, he will have to adjust. Pramac, Paolo Campanotti's team, finished bottom of the team standings last year with 125 points. They are the only team in MotoGP without a podium finish of any kind. Yamaha is prioritizing development in the first half of 2026 as they introduce their V4 engine. Therefore, reigning champion Toprak Razgatlioglu is expected to compete in the lower midfield. Toprak Razgatlioglu hopes to emulate Nicolo Bulega's example in the early MotoGP races. Toprak Razgatlioglu's debut comes after his former WSBK rival, Nicolo Bulega, replaced the injured Marc Marquez for the final 2 rounds of the 2025 season. This gives him an immediate benchmark, although he will have much more preparation. Bulega, who only tested once on the Ducati at Jerez before the race in Portugal, finished 15th twice. Razgatlioglu hopes to be in the same position as him at the start of the race. It may be difficult for the 29-year-old to see the timing screen at first, but he is optimistic that he can bring Pramac back to the podium before the end of the year. Yamaha is then expected to present a much better bike for 2027 under the new regulations. In the first few races, I will probably finish in the same position as Bulega, he said. Once I get used to the bike and find the perfect riding position, we might be able to achieve some good results. I hope finishing on the podium will be a big motivation for 2027. Toprak told Speed Week with a smile. If we manage to get on the podium in 2026, that would be fantastic. Then, I might sign up straight away until 2029. I hope for more success in 2027. After that, we'll have Pirelli tires and a different bike. I think Yamaha will provide a much better package for 2027. For me, it's difficult because I always want to win races. During testing and race weekends, I'm constantly looking at the timing screen, Toprak Razgatlioglu told Speed Week. MotoGP is different. I have to realize that the first year is for learning. I have to ignore the monitor and concentrate on my work. But it's not easy. I always want more. I'm a racer. Toprak Razgatlioglu is happy with the Yamaha V4, while Fabio Quartararo appears frustrated with the perceived lack of progress. He managed 5 pole positions and 3 podiums on the M1 last year, while the other 3 riders only managed 1 top 6 finish. Razgatlioglu is eager to test himself against the 2021 world champion and believes their collaboration can be mutually beneficial. Fabio is a very strong rider. That's good for me too. I probably have a lot to learn from him. But maybe he will learn something from me too. We race for the same manufacturer and can see each other's data. Toprak Razgatlioglu said confidently. Nicolo Bulega was unsure about replacing the injury-stricken Marc Marquez for the final 2 races of the 2025 MotoGP season, and he has revealed what Valentino Rossi told him that ended up changing his mind. At the time of Marc Marquez's injury at the Indonesian Grand Prix, Nicolo Bulega was locked in a title fight with Toprak Razgatlioglu in the World Superbikes Championship. Initially, Bulega believed a one-off ride in MotoGP wouldn't be useful to him, stating that he would consider a change of heart if he was able to clock in some mileage atop MotoGP machinery before being thrust into the spotlight on a race weekend. After Michel Pirot took up duties for the first 2 rounds of Marquez's absence, Bulega then took part in a Ducati test at Jerez, where he was able to get a feel for the GP25. The Italian rider was then announced to be taking up the mantle of being the Spaniard's replacement, making his MotoGP debut in the final 2 rounds of the year in Portimao and Valencia. Nicolo Bulega reveals what Valentino Rossi told him before he accepted Ducati's MotoGP replacement ride. The sudden change in tune from Bulega was understood to be because of Ducati granting him his wish to test the bike beforehand. However, through a recent interview with GP1.com, he revealed that the advice of Valentino Rossi was a leading factor in the U-turn. The 26-year-old was recently present at Rossi's famous motor ranch near Tavoglia, and he touched upon the relationship he shares with the MotoGP legend, as well as any advice he receives from him. Vale asked me a lot of questions because he's curious. In fact, he always asks me so many things. I have a good relationship with him. I've had doubts recently, like racing with the MotoGP bike. That's exactly why I asked him for his opinion, because I didn't know what to do. In my heart, I know that if I should need him, he's there. Nicolo Bulega told GP1.com. The Italian was then prompted to tell a behind-the-scenes story he has with Rossi. Of course, when I called him in October, I had to decide if I wanted to race in MotoGP. At that time, I don't deny that I had some doubts, but he told me not to give a damn and just race, said Nicolo Bulega with a smile. Nicolo Bulega could be on the MotoGP grid for the 2027 season. Jorge Lorenzo thinks that Ducati are now readying Bulega for a satellite ride in 2027, which would see him replicate the switch that his 2025 WSBK title rival, Razgatlioglu, is making for next year.